Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. I am going to take on discussing with you the responsibilities of a warehouse operator. This can be from a designated person that takes on all of the safety implementation in your facility to employees working within the racking. The OHS requirements, or occupational health and safety, they are required for the employer to ensure a safe working environment for their employees. The employer is in charge of making sure all the racking equipment that is provided is maintained and in good working condition. And this information is to be relayed to all staff and posted around the warehouse in designated areas to ensure the safe operating practices on a day-to-day basis, whether this be in folders in a common area that all the employees can look through, or can be posted on the racking itself, which I'll be discussing later in signage. But this is all on the employer to make sure all employees are trained on all the safety factors that the manufacturer, us, have designed all the racking to. So some of these are based on the manufacturer's loading requirements, what have been designed for your racking to hold, to make sure that all the operators are putting the correct material and skids in the proper designated positions, and also procedures to report racking damage. So this, again, doesn't necessarily just fall on one person. One of the main terms that is always used in the Occupational Health and Safety Act is any competent person, whether it be your designated person or the employees. While they're putting all this product away, it is up to them to let everybody know, or to let the management know, or whoever's in charge, if anything is damaged and if anything doesn't look right, and to make sure everything is just kept on top of, because you don't want any kind of downtime. Some more training would be safe operation of the mobile equipment and how to use it around the racking, be it the forklifts, pallet trucks, walkies, anything that's being used in the warehouse, just the proper procedures around them to, again, ensure that day-to-day activities can go on without any interruptions. Regular daily inspections, observations of the rack. Again, this is just put on the competent person that is utilizing the rack to ensure that everything is in working order. Any additional information relevant to the racking system also is to be relayed. We can move on to the next one there, Sean. So racking inspection programs. The inspection programs, they should be designed to fit with the company's schedule, whether it be at the end of the day, end of the week, even between shifts. It should be done on a regular basis. There are many different programs that you could personalize to the users of the racking to see often. Daily inspections are recommended to avoid interruptions in the daily workflow. Downtime on racking is burning money and production time. So going through, again, from the operator to an actual management position, some stuff you'll be looking for are, you can refer back to the loading signs posted on the racking to make sure that the skids that are put away do match the signage. You'll look if uprights are damaged and if splice is in good condition. If you have had any repair work done, you just want to make sure there's no dents, no twists in any of your frames. Is the racking plumb once it's been installed? Are racking braces damaged? Are the floor anchors installed? Or in case of sometimes when there has been damage on a frame, the anchors can shear. But again, if they shear, you've most likely already damaged that frame to point of replacement. Are clips regularly, or are beams damaged as well? If there's any dents, twists, or are clips regularly being dislodged? So your safety pins in your brackets, if they're popping out, if they just won't stay in place. Just all these little items are things to kind of keep aware of when you're doing a inspection on the racking. And then we can move to the signage portion, which what I brought up there. So the signage on the racking and verbiage should always be provided by the manufacturer, as they know their product best. So we've designed the system, again, based on the needs of the customer, what they're loading, where they're loading it, and all of that. The load warning notices for pallet racking systems, they should be fixed in a visible area around the racking so operators can reference these signages while operating their day-to-day work. Loading notes, structure design considerations, and reference text must follow is indicated by the manufacturer or distributor of the storage system. So on most of these signages, what you're going to see is to make sure that the signage is in accordance to the safety signs, signals, and regulations. Brief descriptive comment of the signage. So you're going to have, the user of it, who the manufacturer was, the location, what material was used, maximum load per beam level, and we do have a quick picture there that you could kind of see where this load sign has been attached to the end of this frame, and this is, in some cases, different aisles you can only run one way or the other. So you may have the signages on one end of the rack if you can fit two of your, if it's a common aisle for forklifts that can go up and down, maybe you just keep them on one side. But if you're kind of going in one side and out the other, you may want to have your signages on both ends just to make sure that all operators can reference them when needed. There'll also be the height of the base plate to the top of the beams, space for information. So just any other additional comments that the manufacturer might have, they will have on here. So then everybody can reference it as they're utilizing. And can move on to the rack repairs. And one of the main points for rack repairs is we have at the very top, and I know Waleed and Jonathan, it's a big point for them too, is the best repair is the one you don't need. So what we always want to do when designing a rack system at the beginning, like Waleed had mentioned, is you're not only designing just the racking structure themselves, but you want to implement damage prevention and rack protection, because you want to minimize any downtime or any damages that may have an effect on your day-to-day procedures. The rack protection features, there's post protectors and the vial guards. We can double post frames. There's also at the very bottom of this slide here, you can see different options: a cant leg, severe cant, recessed leg. All these different options will be based on what you're trying to achieve in your facility and if it does make sense. If you're using reach trucks, the severe cant leg is an option where it is recessed in the sense of your straddle legs of your truck when you're reaching to your second position won't come into contact with that front leg for your drivers. It gives you that extra area to reach in and avoid continuous contact with that front leg. If repairs are required, it is recommended to contact the racking manufacturer, as they will have various options to facilitate a repair. Since we are the ones, or the manufacturer were the ones that first signed off and engineered and stamped the frames, the design, they are the ones that know the product best. They know what it can take, and they know what material we can get back together to help facilitate you getting back up and running. One of the issues that we have run into before are third-party companies that can come in and give you a base kit that the manufacturer hasn't designed. We've seen them complete these repairs on other manufacturers' frames, and they'll provide capacities on the repair kits, but not to the existing frame above that is utilizing these repair kits. And that can become an issue with yourself and the provider of those kits, as they will sometimes not want to take on that responsibility of the frame, but they'll give you the warranty on that kit. So all in all, it is best to go back to the manufacturer that you have used in this situation, so they can help you get the correct solution, so there's no more downtime in these situations.